Yo, what's up? So in this video, I just want to give a quick shout out to ozfragrances.com. I am not sponsored by them, but without them, I wouldn't be able to make this video. So basically, I bought a bunch of decants off here. I don't get paid at all. I'm using my money to review all these decants and buy them. So yeah, drop a like and subscribe below because these videos are very expensive for me to make. Obviously, inside this box, I have a lot of decants in here. I won't be able to go through all of them right now because I got literally like over 40 decants here, I think. I've got a lot in here basically. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got 10 packs of 4 in here. So 40 decants I think in total. And yeah, this is going to be interesting just to kind of test them all. Obviously, I'll probably release this video in parts. I'll review a couple now and then I'll drop some more parts out in the future. But yeah, for sure. Now I think we'll start off with, we'll go with these. I've already smelt most of these, by the way, except for just a couple in there. Like I've got 4 left that I haven't smelt. And on my computer here, I've written down notes for me to remember them all, just to make the video a little bit quicker. Okay, here's a good one we'll start off with. Everyone has heard of this before. It's called PARFUMS de Leighton. Okay, so basically, there was a lot of hype around Leighton. Personally, I didn't like it. I smelt it, I said on my notes, it smells very weird, unique. It smells like there's too many notes and they're clashing with each other. It smells a little bit like Pure Havane by Mugler in a dry down. It's got this really weird smell, almost like vanilla and florals. You can smell a lot of sandalwood in the dry down, but it tends to get very spicy and peppery in the dry down. So basically, what you can expect with this is like a spicy version of Pure Havane. And yeah, it's not great, honestly. It's overhyped, and I think frag heads just really seem to love Leighton and they've hyped it up. And I've got to say, don't believe the hype because it's not as good as people say it is. Really, I didn't really like it, honestly. So next, we got another one by PARFUMS de SEDLEY. Okay, like unlike the other ones, SEDLEY is actually very nice. Okay, so SEDLEY. What you're going to expect with SEDLEY is just a straight up citrus scent, which just basically doesn't do anything else besides smell like citrus. But it's very natural citrus. It's one of the better quality citrus. You can tell it's high quality, doesn't smell cheap, doesn't smell like toilet spray. It smells very natural, like a real lemon. And I think out of all the citrus scents, obviously it's one of the good ones, but it's pretty expensive if you just want to smell like lemons only. So I can think of a bunch of others that are probably better than SEDLEY in terms of their price, but if you just want good quality citrus scent, SEDLEY is amazing. And I think the performance is actually really good in SEDLEY. It's not weak, it lasts a long time as well. So next, okay, so AMOUAGE. We've got a fragrance by AMOUAGE that was also very hyped up. It's called Reflection Man. Do I think that Reflection Man actually lives up to the hype? I actually think it surpassed my expectations, honestly. To me, this smells like Jean Paul Gaultier Le Parfum, like Le Male Le Parfum, but with a fresh citrus opening instead of that vanilla sweetness. So it's got that same kind of iris vibe that Givenchy Gentleman and yeah, Le Male Le Parfum have. But if you don't want that sweet vanilla bubblegum smell that Le Male Le Parfum has, Reflection Man is a really good alternative to that, given it's really expensive because it's AMOUAGE. But this really amazing scent, like it's gonna be one of my favorite right now, honestly. It just surpassed my expectations. The performance is great, smell is amazing. It does get a lot of hype, but I think it lives up to the hype, honestly. I think it deserves all the praise it gets. Probably some people should talk about it a little more because it's a really good, fresh, floral, really good scent for men, like honestly. Well, even girls, I think girls can definitely wear that. It's definitely unisex, actually. Actually, I'll just say another thing about AMOUAGE. We have, on my notes, I said the iris smell is actually ylang ylang, and the citrus smell is petitgrain and neroli. So it's not actually iris, it's ylang ylang, and the citrus is petitgrain and neroli, not like actual lemons. So what you get is a slightly different citrus scent, more rindy, herbal citrus, like the leaves, like citrus leaf. So yeah, next is another one by AMOUAGE. Interlude Black Iris, and this stuff was also hyped by like Gent Sense and a few others on YouTube, and this stuff is absolutely disgusting. Interlude Black Iris is so gross. I think there may be something redeeming in the very opening once you smell the iris in the opening, but then all you get is this animalic, disgusting, seriously foul, rancid smelling note in there. I can't figure out what it is, but it really, I think it might be the oud, the myrrh, or the leather, but it smells putrid, like really gross. Like honestly, there's something so bad in here, I can't stand it, and I think one of the worst fragrances I've ever smelled, way worse than Oud Lemon Mint. This stuff is so gross, man. Don't ever buy Interlude Black Iris. It's one of the most foul smelling perfumes you could ever try. So bad. So next we'll go with some others. We got some more popular ones. We got Silver Mountain Water by Creed. So Creed is one of those brands that really popular in the niche community, the niche fragrance world. I think the opening of Silver Mountain Water is really good. There's a really nice freshness to it and citrus. What do my notes say here? I said it smells very floral. There's definitely some florals, there's some petitgrain, but as it dries down, the floral and petitgrain smell just definitely overwhelm this fragrance to the point where it's really bad to smell. Like there's just something weird and off about it. I think if you can ignore that, there is some nice scent in here. There is like some nice freshness. Definitely fresh, but there's just something really weird, which I think is the petitgrain, like people say, or the floral notes just don't really go with this fragrance, in my opinion. Super fresh, super strong, but really sharp on the nose too. A little bit bitter. It's not a bad scent actually, but I wouldn't wear it because there's just something in there that puts me off. So yeah, it's definitely one that didn't live up to the hype, especially by Creed. I just would assume Creed's a good brand and everything. So next we have one by Goldfield and Banks called Pacific Rock Moss. So basically, the way I describe Pacific Rock Moss by Goldfield and Banks, it has this delicious melon, citrus, aquatic kind of opening that's just simply amazing. If you've ever smelled Abercrombie and Fitch, First Instinct, it does smell a little bit like that, but just way more better, like honestly. Super fresh, juicy, delicious. I could almost eat it, I said. Perfect for hot days. And yeah, I can't imagine a single girl that wouldn't love Pacific Rock Moss. It's seriously a scent that I think is aimed towards women or men that want to attract women. This stuff is seriously probably one of the best I got in this whole box, honestly. Pacific Rock Moss blew my expectations out of the water and just surpassed them by a million. I've got to hype this stuff up just because of how good it is. Like, apart from the price and everything, it is pricey, but I would definitely pay the price for this because, in my opinion, it just smells that good that I would have to buy it. Like, it's not something I can just smell and never buy. Like, once you smell it, instantly hooked on that. I can't say anything bad except for that melon smell. Some people don't like melon, mainly men. There's a lot of masculine men that don't want to smell like melon. So it's not a masculine scent. There's going to be a lot of people that actually hate that. It's not masculine enough for them. So next is Chanel Platinum Egoist. And I'm conflicted about Egoist because I smell it from a distance and I really like it. I really like it from a distance, but when you smell it up close, it's a little bit too green, it's a little bit too woody, it's too sharp. And this is so strong, man. The performance of this is absolutely mind-blowingly strong. Actually gives me a headache, it's too strong. But I think somewhere in here, there's a little bit of a mature scent. There's a little bit of an outdated scent in here where it does kind of smell like more of an older fragrance that would have came out like 10 years ago, maybe long before that even. But this is super fresh, super green, really good for the people that want something fresh and green. I think you could say it's a masculine scent, but you could say it's also for way older guys, like in their 40s. Like, there's definitely, I don't think it's good for young people. Actually, I could imagine, yeah, I could see a young person wearing this. Just go easy on the trigger. Don't spray this a lot because it's already strong enough as it is. And green scents, if you get too much green smell on you, then yeah, it can really kind of give people a headache, you know, just because that green is so sharp to the nose and everything. Not completely bad actually, like it's not bad at all. And I'm gonna rank all these fragrances at the end, so I won't tell you which one's better now, but I will just put up on the screen kind of like as I'm talking which ones are better than others, so you know. So the next is another nice freshie called Bentley for Men Azure. So Bentley for Men Azure, I said it smells very strong, like lemon and orange in the opening. There's a little bit of tonka, slightly cheap smelling though. It's got that Allure Homme Sport vibe, but a cheaper smelling one. So the quality is not as good as Chanel Allure Homme, but the smell is quite similar. But there is almost like a little bit of floralness, or yeah, something floral in there, like lavender or sage. I really like this actually. I actually like Bentley for Men Azure. I think it's a strong performing fresh fragrance. So if you like freshies that actually perform good, this is a really good option for like a long lasting fresh fragrance that actually smells really nice. And I like the balance of sweet and fresh. I always talk about the sweet and fresh balance, and I think this has really got that Allure Homme Sport vibe going on for it. Not exactly the same. It is quite different in some aspects, like the floral smell in here, but really good solid fragrance, honestly. So next we'll go with, yeah, we'll go with these ones, okay? Invictus Victory. So you've heard a lot of people talk about Invictus Victory, the Chaos fragrance. Janet Sense talks about it a lot. And I think Invictus Victory, it's not actually a bad scent at all. I really like Invictus Victory. I think there's a vanilla tonka smell to it. It's very creamy, very nutty in a way. It's got that stronger with you absolutely vibe. So there's like almost nutty but super smooth. Dry down is a little bit peppery though, so I don't really like the peppery spicy dry down, but I like how creamy it is in the opening. And it's a really nice warm scent actually. So if you like that warm scent, it's very sweet, creamy, smooth, apart from the spicy dry down, Invictus Victory it lives up to the hype. I'm gonna say it lives up to the hype, because it's not like, there's nothing really that bad in there that's gonna make you go ill. Like some of the others I'll mention in here, you'll know what I mean by that ill smell for sure. Like the next one, for example, is 1 Million Prive by PACO Rabanne. So this is a flanker to the 1 Million, the Prive version. Or Prive, and yeah, this basically had tobacco in it. I'm not really going to go through all the notes in here, but I'll say that what it smells like is, in the opening you get this sour wine smell. It's really bad actually. It's like a wine that's gone bad in the opening, and I absolutely hate that. Like I can't stand the opening of this. But then the dry down gets a little better. It starts to smell more like pure Havane and PARFUMS de Marly Layton. So the dry down actually does get that really like that artificial honey flavor. You know, the artificial honey, which doesn't really smell like real honey, but it's like an artificial honey. It's got that vibe, and it is a little boozy. I don't know why. It might be that wine kind of opening that I get in there. Apart from the bad opening, it might be orange actually. Like the orange doesn't really work with the other ingredients in here, like the cinnamon and the vanilla and the tobacco. I think the orange just isn't working in this. I think it's clashing with the other ones. So that might even be what's giving it the sour smell. I would recommend getting rid of the orange in this actually, and just making it an all sweet fragrance. And maybe actually, yeah, ditch the orange and the freshness and replace that with coffee, tobacco, coffee, wood and vanilla. If you can do that, 1 Million Prive would actually be pretty good scent, because it's got that pure Havane smell. I actually prefer pure Havane though, because this is a little bit funky in the opening, and there's something weird in there for sure going on. And the next one is a hype train on the internet that I'm gonna derail because I absolutely hate this stuff. It's Bentley for Men Intense. Yes, I said it. This stuff is absolutely disgusting. It's so gross. It smells like leather, rum. There's something animalic in here. It might even be ambergris, which is actually, it's like whale poop. If you don't know what ambergris is, it's actually like whale poop, literally. And this smells animalic. Like there's something in here that kind of gives it a civet. Is that what it's called? A civet animal? I don't know. It's really musky in a bad way. It's something so bad in here, I can't put my hands on it. It might even be the leather. the leather is done really bad. Like, it's a bad leather smell that just makes it smell dirty, gross, animalic. Yeah, definitely stay away from Bentley for Men Intense. You can't smell the vanilla, but there is a little bit of a resinous sweetness in here. So it does smell more like a resin sweetness, not a vanilla sweetness. Like, I think that is benzoin. Benzoin comes from a tree that kind of is said to smell like vanilla. So that might be what's giving it that resinous sweetness with the really bad rum leather, alcoholic, animalic smell. It smells like an old man, okay? That's the best way I can put it. It's an old man scent, and it's probably going to scare off the ladies because this is foul. Really bad scent. I do not recommend buying Bentley for Men Intense. So next is another hype beast. NUIT by LALIQUE. Jeremy Fragrance actually hypes this up a lot. James Sense has actually hyped it up. But I can say this stuff is also disgusting. It smells like wood. It smells like fire, smoke, burnt wood. There's something really bitter in here, and acrid. If you've ever squashed an ant or stood on a millipede, you get that squashed ant smell, which is really kind of bad in here. There's like something that's really formic acid smelling. It smells a little bit like formic acid with a very overpoweringly smoky scent. So when I talk about smoke, this is actually smoky, like a burnt down house that had a bunch of ants that got squashed, and it smells seriously disgusting. But there's still worse. I would still wear this over Bentley for Men Intense, surprisingly, because I would rather smell like smoke than have that. I'd rather smell like smoke and squashed ants and wood. I think the wood and smoke is redeeming in this to somewhat extent, because some of the other ones like Bentley for Men Intense, Interlude, Black Iris are just literally worse than this. So I mean, if you really want to smell like smoky wood, you can pull this off. I think from a distance, if you smell it in the air, it's going to be alright. Honestly, I think it's not going to be that bad until you actually start smelling it close up, and then you get that really bad, bitter, off-putting scent that's really hard to describe. So, next we got La Nuit de l'Homme, the original, or it might be the reformulated version of the original, but I actually like this a lot. I think I'm converted to a La Nuit de l'Homme fan now, because I've always hated the blue electric version. I think it was really one of my worst scents that I had. I said it smells like baby powder. And the original doesn't have that problem. I don't get baby powder vibes from the original. Okay, so I actually forgot to write down the notes for this fragrance, what I've thought about it. So I've actually forgotten a lot about this, but I can say what I do remember about it. It smells like a fresher version of Blue Electric without the baby powder smell. You do get way more cardamom in this. This actually does smell like cardamom. It smells a little bit citrusy. The opening is really nice. The dry down is really nice. It's also warm and fresh. So it's a fresh, warm scent. Very original smelling. Doesn't smell like anything else. I still think Blue Electric is still way different than this. So I actually prefer the original La Nuit de l'Homme. Performance of this is really bad though. So I can tell you on my skin it doesn't last very long at all. On paper, I can't even smell it on paper. Performance is apparently really bad with this, but I don't care because it smells better than Blue Electric, honestly. So if you want to know which is better, Blue Electric or the original La Nuit de l'Homme, I'd say the original, go with that. And yeah, it's just more cardamom, more fresh, not that baby powder scent. It's actually a really nice scent, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I really like it. And I hate Blue Electric so much. Good job, YSL. I usually don't like YSL fragrances that much, but I love that. So next is L'Homme by YSL. Just the original L'Homme, not any of the flankers. So this is also a clean freshie. It actually does smell very similar to YSL Y EDP, like the Y line. It does actually have a toilet spray vibe though. For some reason, all the YSL fragrances smell cheap like toilet spray, but they also have something really good in them as well that I can't figure out. It's like citrus and ginger or something in here. The YSL Y, the Y line is more fruity, sorry, and this is more ginger, citrus. Yeah, more ginger and citrus. And this stuff is seriously good, man. I actually prefer this over, wait, do I prefer it over the Y? I'm not sure about that yet, but I'll make up my decision once I've smelled it a few more times. But yeah, I think it smells fresh, clean. This is really a scent that girls are going to love. So I think this appeals to girls a lot. It'll get you tons of compliments. It is really like, it smells original. Nothing really smells exactly like the YSL fragrances in the aspect that they have their own unique character to them. But this does smell so cheap like toilet spray, and that is one of the things that really stops me liking them as much. There is a little bit of greenness in here. It's a little bit green, but not as green as the Y line. Alone by YSL, good stuff. I would recommend buying it. I do like it, and I think girls are going to love it probably more than I like it. Good job, YSL. So next is called ACQUAVIVA by PROFUMUM ROMA. And this stuff is literally just photorealistic lemon. It doesn't smell like anything else besides the best quality lemon fragrance you could probably ever get. I don't think there is another citrus lemon fragrance in the world that could probably smell more natural and higher quality than this stuff here. This stuff seriously performs great, lasts forever. It's one of the most, it is the most natural, strongest, potent lemon smelling fragrance I've ever seen. But yeah, that's all it does. It just smells like lemon only. There's nothing else it smells like. You could just call it lemon in the bottle, because if you cut a lemon and smelt it, it smells exactly like that, honestly. But super great fresh fragrance. For a lemon fragrance, I mean, it's the best you can buy just for straight up lemon. There's nothing that'll beat ACQUAVIVA by PROFUMUM ROMA. So next is Gucci Guilty Intense Pour Homme for men. Okay, so I really like the opening of Gucci Guilty Intense Pour Homme for men. What does it smell like? It's got that little grape, sweet grape vibe going on that the scent Le Parfum has by Hugo Boss. So if you know, in one of my other videos I reviewed the scent Le Parfum. This smells almost exactly like that. Super sweet, delicious. The grape opening goes away in a dry down, and then it turns into more of a lemon scent. And in a dry down it actually starts to smell more like Private Accord, sorry. So yeah, once you get into the dry down, it turns more into citrus smelling. But it really does smell like Private Accord for some reason, the scent Private Accord. I can't figure out what it is. It's like the opening smells like Le Parfum and the dry down smells like Private Accord. So whatever they've done in here that makes it smell like grape and lemon, it's good stuff. I seriously was not expecting much with the Gucci fragrances because they're so hated on by people. Gets a lot of hate, but Gucci Guilty is really good. I would recommend buying it for sure. Definitely a buy it for me. There's nothing really that bad in there except for the grape smell if you don't like grape. Oh yeah, and I said there is something in here that reminds me of Diesel, only the Brave Extreme. I can't figure out what it is, but it's seriously good. I seriously like this stuff. So yeah, Gucci Guilty Intense Pour Homme. Really amazing stuff right here. And I think that's 4 packets I've gone through now. So I'll finish the video here and then I'll put out another 2 video parts reviewing all the rest in here, because I've still got 6 fragrances to, 6 packs of fragrances to review. So it'll take forever. I can't fit it all in one video. I'll stick with maybe like 12 fragrances each video or something like that, and I think that's plenty for a 1 video part. And I'll see you soon, coming up with the next video part reviewing these decants. And just want to give another thanks to OzFragrances.com. Y'all are the real MVPs for hooking me up with all these, and honestly, these videos wouldn't be possible without them providing me somewhere to buy these samples from, and thanks a lot. So go check out OzFragrances.com if you want to buy yourself some samples and you're in Australia. If you're not in Australia, well, sorry, I don't know if you can get them outside the country, but you can go to Scent Split